for sure, but we do know that he is very old and he's basically kind of retired now. He's still pretty tough, but he doesn't get so aggressive and so, you know, anxious to kill you anymore. He kind of buys his time, and if you ever fall in or something, he'll happily kill you, but he's just sort of waiting for you to make the first move kind of thing. And I'm hoping I won't be doing that, so the plan is just to give him the chicken, get out, it should all be good. Wish me luck. So he's called Cassius, and he's the biggest croc that we've got here. He's 5.5 metres versus that other one we fed was 4.6. We've got a few other big ones here, but those are the two biggest. This guy is also the biggest at the moment anywhere in captivity. He has the Guinness World Record, so he's official, proven. He's pretty famous for that reason. Now, they do get bigger. They actually had a 6.2 metre croc in the Philippines only a few years back, and it was the king at the time. Unfortunately, it didn't last very long. Once they caught it, it was only it only survived for a few years in captivity. And so that one passed away, which meant Cassius got his title back. So the biggest ever official is 6.2 metres. Now, if you go off kind of records and legends and stuff, they can get even bigger. They reckon they can get up to 7 metres, and there's people that believe they've seen crocs 8, 9 metres. It depends on who you believe and you know all that. So I don't know what the biggest croc ever would be. I'd say it could possibly be 7 metres, around that. That's just my opinion. So what I'm kind of saying is that they do get a lot bigger than Cassius here. He's pretty special because he's big, but they get much bigger. What really makes this guy special is the fact that he's so old. Now, we don't know how old he is, but we know that he's really old, and we do know that he most likely wouldn't be alive naturally anymore, and probably for a long time. He's been out of the wild now since 1984, so quite a long time, and if he had been never captured and left in the wild, he most likely would have been killed off by another croc a long, long time ago. So he is really special, in my opinion, at least for that reason, because he's probably the oldest croc in the world. That's my opinion. Now, even though he's old, he is still pretty tough, guys, so don't get me wrong, he is a nice croc to work with, and a lot safer, but he has still got it. If he wants to move quick, he can. And I know sort of what he generally is willing to do for the food, and that's why I'm holding off. I'll give it to him in a minute, but like the other croc, I'm going to tease him a little bit. This is his exercise, and also I know that he is still not really putting in the full effort yet. He will in a minute. He's warming up a little bit. No. So that's a very common question. You might be wondering too, guys, why they have such small cages and quills. And with crocs, I think, like, crocs are kind of, I reckon anyway, I reckon they're the perfect animal for captivity because they're so lazy and they're so basically simple. They're not unintelligent animals, but they are very basic. There's not much that is required to keep them happy, basically. Crocodile, he has a brain. His brain's probably about the size of your pinky finger. And you can see that with some of the big skulls. You can see their brain cavities. Not much going on in there, but it's basically instinct. And that's all that they ever really need. And that's why they've been around for so long, because they're very simple. And so when they're in captivity, the same thing drives them as it does in the wild, which is basically finding food, finding a partner, and keeping themselves uncontested of competition for those other things. And so when you feed them, and in the case of the younger ones, they have a partner. Cassius doesn't care about girls anymore, he's a bit old for that. But the younger ones, as long as they have a partner and they're well fed, they basically, at that point, they don't care about anything. And that's why they all just sit around and do nothing. And so Cassius is the same thing. We could give him a much bigger enclosure. We don't really have the space or the money to do that, unfortunately, but we could. And if we did, most likely he would probably just stay exactly where he is. I mean, I can't say exactly what he would do, but I do know in the last 5 years he's only come out of the water once, and that was actually only about a week ago. So that was really cool to see him out. But he really, basically, all he wants to do pretty much now is wait around for the chicken. And I think, you know, at 110, I think I'd probably be much the same. So yeah, to be honest, the size of the enclosures, and with this guy especially, I don't really feel bad at all. I don't think he really cares at all, to be honest. Obviously, I don't know what's going on in his mind, but I do know him pretty well. I've known him my whole life, and I don't think he cares. As long as the chicken keeps coming, like any croc, I think they're pretty content at that point. I'm going to let him have it though now, guys, so get ready if you want to get a photo or something. He doesn't seem to be willing to put in too much more effort than that. Now you might not have been able to see there, but he's actually missing his front left legs. We don't know how that's happened, but we reckon another crocodile was bitten it off at some point while he was living in the wild. So that's probably well over 30 years ago that happened. He's also got a big scar on his back, that big white mark is scar. He's also got many teeth missing, a bit of his tail missing, and all of his other 3 legs have injuries on them, like toes and stuff missing. So he's basically been in a lot of big battles with other crocs. He's been pretty tough battles this day. That's why I was saying earlier, I don't think he'd be alive anymore naturally. Feeding himself would be hard enough, but the competition with the other crocs would probably be his downfall. I think another younger one like that one we fed a minute ago, there's plenty of them around. Even a small one, like 3 meters, I'd say would have a good chance of killing Cassius. And they would fight over food or anything. So he is very special, guys. Although he's the biggest, I think it's the fact that he's still going at his age and his condition and doesn't seem to be slowing down. He's eating good every day. I think he's got another 10 years in him, I reckon. I don't know, he could die tomorrow, but I think he's got a fair bit longer. So he's very special. I feel very lucky to get to work with him and show you guys him. So I hope that was special for you as well. But that is all the food now, unless you do want to send your kids in. So guys, thank you all so much for coming. Don't forget though, we are going to bring the little baby croc out. And I'd like to chat with you. If you've got any questions about crocs or anything about our place, please feel free to chat with me and I'll tell you all about it. Just one last thing I forgot to mention. He's from the Northern Territory. He was actually captured by the government after he was attacking boats. So, like that croc actually behind you, he nearly killed someone, that one there. The government captured him after that incident. That one there was very close. He dragged a girl into the water and she lost her arm or something. Generally, in that case, they should shoot the croc. I don't know why he got to live. She kind of petitioned the girl's family or whatever petitioned for it, believe it or not, because it was sort of her fault. That croc there is called Trinity. He's from the Trinity Inlet where he put the boat. So yeah, there's generally a lot of crocs removed from the wild for that reason these days, because there's a lot of them out there. Alright, thank you everybody. I'm going to get the little croc out. I'm going to go back and start. Otherwise, have a great day. Thanks for coming. See you next time. Thank you.